Matt, being a Sydney boy, but heavily involved in the minerals and what it's now known as the critical mineral space,
Yep.
Bit of an unconventional route that you've taken, and to be on the forefront of having mining tenements, developing mining tenements, and having a company that is looking to IPO in the not too distant future. Quite a non-traditional route. How did you end up, I guess, getting into the mineral space in the first place? And where do you start?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think the passion started when Dad took me to the Goldfields of Victoria when I was like 3 or 4. We went prospecting in the Goldfields, we went panning, and I was picking up all different types of rocks and I brought them back, and then I eventually did a show and tell. And then that month I won like show and tell of the month award when I was in, when I was like 3 or 4 years old, so that would have been primary school. And from there it sort of took off, so I always had like a love of rocks from there. And my dad's always been one of those scientific nerds, and that's sort of how we sort of started our journey. So Dad came to me when I was 18, 19 and said, Matty, I've got some opportunities to get back into the exploration space. Are you interested in coming along the journey? And I said, yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Let's go out and get it. So basically what we did from there was learn the process. How do we do it? How do we get involved? How do we get started? How do we peg something? How do we go out on the ground, peg it, and then follow the right paperwork and ensure we're compliant? So yeah, that's basically where it started. It all started with the show and tell. A trip to the Goldfields and then a show and tell.
Well, 2 questions. With the show and tell, do you still own that nugget? Or did your dad take it off your hands?
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, when you say that, don't have the nugget still, but still have one of the specimens that we bought from the local shop or the local gold mine shop there. And a couple of years ago I decided I'd test it with the XRF gun that we've got, and appears it was a painted nugget and we got ripped off, but it's pretty interesting.
Work for show and tell all the same.
Exactly.